Finding Your Compass. Written by Enrico. Narrated by Daemon Reah. 1. The Courage to Question. There's a quiet moment that comes to many of us, often late at night or early in the morning, when the noise of the world fades, and we start to wonder, what if the story I was taught isn't the whole story? Not long ago, I found myself in that space. I didn't get there overnight, and I didn't arrive with rebellion in my heart. In fact, it was quite the opposite. I was someone who believed deeply. At 18, I was preaching on the streets of Cape Town, South Africa, calling strangers to salvation, convinced I was sharing the ultimate truth. But slowly, gently, something began to shift. I began to notice the questions I had always been taught not to ask. The inconsistencies, the contradictions, the strange sense of guilt I couldn't trace to any real wrongdoing. The idea that I was born broken, and that only through believing certain things in a certain way I could ever be made whole. That belief shaped my life for years, until I couldn't keep pretending. This book is my story of what came after. It's not a rejection of faith, but a rediscovery of something deeper, something older, something freer. If you've ever felt confused or conflicted about what you've been told about sin, salvation, or the Bible, if you've carried the weight of guilt without knowing why, if you've doubted quietly, fearing what it might cost to voice those doubts, I want you to know you're not alone. This is not a book of answers, but of clarity. Not a book of rebellion, but of return. Not to dogma, but to source. What if you're not sinful by nature? What if you were never meant to carry shame? What if you were never lost and don't need to be saved? Let's explore those questions together. Not to attack anyone's beliefs, but to give ourselves permission to think, to feel, and to know, maybe for the first time, that we were never broken. Welcome to a new kind of conversation. You're not the problem. Have you ever wondered, what if everything they told you about sin and salvation was wrong? If so, you're not alone, and you're not lost. You're waking up. You've probably known deep down that the story of Adam and Eve doesn't hold up. You've questioned how humanity's fate could rest on an ancient myth. You've looked around at the pain, the contradictions, the dogma, and felt that
Sample complete. Ready to continue?